Dear students, today I would like to discuss about atomic number. So what is atomic number? So atomic number can be defined as the number of protons which are present inside the nucleus. So protons, the number of protons which are present inside the nucleus is known as atomic number. So the number of protons which are present inside the nucleus, or it can also be defined as the number of electrons which are present outside the nucleus. We know that electrons will be revolving around the nucleus. So the number of protons which are present inside the nucleus, or the number of electrons which are present outside the nucleus or around the nucleus. So we know that since atom is neutral, so the number of protons will be equal to the number of electrons. So that is atomic number. Now coming to the mass number. So atomic number is denoted by Z. It is denoted by Z. So mass number can be defined as sum of the number of protons and the number of neutrons which are inside the nucleus. So we know that the nucleus is consisting of protons and neutrons. So mass number can be defined as the sum of the protons and neutrons which are present inside the nucleus. So this is denoted by A. It is denoted by A. So A is equal to Z plus N, where Z is atomic number, where N is the number of neutrons. N is number of neutrons. So for finding out the number of neutrons, so N is equal to A minus Z, where A is mass number minus Z is atomic number. So that gives the number of neutrons. So mass number is always a whole number. Mass number is always a whole number. So if you see the atomic mass, the mass is sometimes fractional due to the presence of isotopes. So now we'll discuss what are isotopes. So isotopes can be defined as the atoms of same element with the same atomic number and different mass number. See here, same Z and different mass number. So the nuclides which are having the same atomic number but different mass numbers, so such the compounds are known as isotopes. So isotopes always differs in the number of neutrons. Isotopes differs in the number of neutrons. So but if you see the properties of isotopes, so they may differ in physical properties but show similar chemical properties. So physical properties will be different, but the chemical properties will be similar due to same electronic configuration, because we know that electronic configuration always depends on the atomic number. Since here atomic number is similar, the chemical properties will be similar due to similar electronic configuration. Now here if you take an example for isotopes, so hydrogen has 3 isotopes. So first one is a H11. So this is a protium or normal hydrogen. Second one is H21. So this is deuterium or heavy hydrogen. So H31. So this is a tritium or otherwise known as radioactive hydrogen. So these are the 3 important isotopes that are formed by hydrogen. See here, in all these things, so they are having same atomic number. They are having same atomic number, but mass numbers are different. 1, 2, 3. The mass numbers are different. So such compounds are known as isotopes. So if you consider the isotopes of a particular hydrogen, so normal hydrogen is present to an extent of 99.985%. So deuterium is present to the extent of 0.015%, and tritium is present in very minute quantities. Traces means very minute quantities, that is 7 into 10 power minus 16%. So the heavier, that means the normal hydrogen is present in higher concentration, whereas tritium will be present in the least concentration. Since tritium is the radioactive isotope, since it is radioactive, its half-life of tritium is 12.33 years. So that is about isotopes. So here, when we are comparing the isotopes of hydrogen, so this is a atomic number, this is mass number, this is a number of electrons, number of protons, number of neutrons. So this is N by P, that is a N by P ratio, the ratio between the number of neutrons and number of protons. So see here, if you consider here, the highest N by P ratio is for the tritium when compared to in these isotopes. Of the isotopes of hydrogen, tritium is having the highest N by P ratio, highest N by P ratio. So next one, what is hydron? So what is hydron? So hydron is a name that is given for cationic form of atomic hydrogen. So H plus ion. So this is a, this can also be denoted or it can also be represented by hydron. So this see here, the hydron includes the cations of hydrogen, that is H plus in the form of normal hydrogen, D plus that is deuterium, T plus is tritium. So when we are taking the examples of carbon, see here, carbon is also existing in different isotopes. So C12, C13 and C14. So here the atomic number will be the same, that is 6 for all the isotopes, but the mass number is differing 12, 13 and 14. So when this will be differing in the number of neutrons. So 12 minus 6, 6 neutrons will be there. 13 minus 6, 7 neutrons will be there. 14 minus 6, 8. So isotopes will definitely differ in the number of neutrons. So this is the symbolic representation of element. So see here X represents the element, A represents the mass number, A represents the mass number, and Z represents the atomic number. So this A always is denoted in the form of superscript. Superscript means which is written at the top, whereas Z is indicated in the form of subscript. So that means which is written at the bottom. So here I'm going to discuss about another example for isotopes. So that is chlorine isotopes. Chlorine mostly forms two important isotopes. One is a chlorine 35 isotope and another one is chlorine 37 isotope. See here, the atomic number will be the same, but mass number is different. So these are the number of neutrons in the particular chlorine isotopes. So that is about isotopes. Now coming to the second compound, that is isobars. So what are isobars? So isobars are the atoms of different elements with the same mass number but different atomic numbers. So it is a reverse of isotopes. So isotopes are having the same atomic number, different mass number. But in the case of isobars, these have same mass number but different atomic number. So if you consider the examples here, argon, potassium, calcium. So see here, they are having the same mass number 40, 40, 40. But they are having different atomic numbers 18, 19. So here also the number of neutrons will differ. Number of neutrons will be different. So next, so that is about isobars. Next, when we are considering the wave nature of electromagnetic radiation. So this was proposed by James Maxwell. So when electrically charged particle moves under acceleration, both when it is moving under acceleration, both electric fields as well as magnetic fields are produced. So when an electrically charged particle, whether it is an electron or something, so when it is moving under acceleration, so both alternately electric fields as well as magnetic fields are produced. So these fields are transmitted in the form of waves known as electromagnetic waves or electromagnetic radiation. The name itself suggests here, electro represents electric field, magnetic means magnetic field. So both, it is consisting of both electric field as or magnetic field. So he is the first person to reveal that light waves are having both oscillating, that means moving electric fields as well as magnetic fields. So how these electric fields or magnetic fields will be present. So these electric fields as well as magnetic fields produced by the charged particle are perpendicular to each other. So both electric field will be perpendicular to the magnetic field and vice versa. And so these unlike sound waves and water waves, electromagnetic waves do not require medium. So sound waves as well as water waves requires medium, but these electromagnetic waves do not require medium and can move even in vacuum. So that is about electromagnetic radiation. So when you are coming towards the electromagnetic spectra, so spectra is a what you call a plural form of spectrum. So this can be observed when light passes from lighter medium to denser medium. So when the light is moving or passing from lighter medium to denser medium, we can find this kind of spectrum, that is electromagnetic spectrum. The wave with a shorter wavelength, bends more than the wave which is having what you call longer wavelength. So if you see in the VIBGYOR, that is violet light of visible spectrum bends more than the red light of visible spectrum. So see here, so this is a magnetic field, so this color represents, so this red color represents the electric field, and this is the direction of the propagation of the wave. So this electric field as well as magnetic field will be perpendicular to each other. So this kind is known as electromagnetic radiation. So this is electromagnetic radiation. So when we consider the spectrum, see here, a series of wavelengths of various colors, so which are present in the visible region. So that is known as spectrum. So what is spectrum? A series of wavelengths of different colors which are present in the visible region, that is known as spectrum, or a series of wavelengths of various regions of electromagnetic radiation. So a series of closely packed lines. So if you are considering closely packed lines like this or in this form, the closely packed lines, so that is known as a band. A closely lined packed lines is called a band. Now in this case, we are having two types of spectrums. So one is a continuous spectrum and another one is a discontinuous spectrum. So a spectrum of electromagnetic radiation, so says visible region without any gaps in its color. So if a spectrum is forming without any gaps, so that means without any gaps in the colors from violet to red continuously, so that is known as continuous spectrum. So we cannot find any gap in between the colors which are present in the region. So that kind of spectrum is known as a continuous spectrum. So example, rainbow. Or if any wavelength or any color is missing from that, so that is known as a discontinuous. Continuous means without any gap. If the spectrum is forming, that is known as continuous spectrum. Or if any wavelength or color is missing from it, so that is known as a discontinuous spectrum. So this is about electromagnetic spectrum. So gamma rays, X rays. So this is a gamma rays, X rays, UV rays, visible, infrared, microwaves, radio waves, and long range radio waves. So this is the uh, frequency values of electromagnetic radiation, which are indicated in hertz or cycles per second. So we know that the frequency is expressed in hertz or cycles per second. So these are the different frequency values of electromagnetic radiation. So this is continuously electromagnetic spectrum. Electromagnetic. So this is a visible spectrum. So here we can find the different wavelengths of different colors which are expressed in nanometers. So we know that VIBGYOR, so violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. So we know that in visible region we are having a different colors which are falling in different wavelengths. So this all is constituting visible spectrum. Next, we'll see what are the measurable characteristics of electromagnetic radiation. So there are different characteristics of electromagnetic radiation. So first one is a frequency. So what is a frequency? So the number of vibrations or oscillations made by a wave in 1 second is known as frequency. So suppose if you are considering a wave, so what is a wave? A wave is nothing but a combination of crust and trough. A combination of crust and trough. So if you are considering a wave like this, so this is known as crust. This is known as trough. This is known as trough. A combination of crust and trough is known as a wave. A combination of crust and trough is known as wave. So the number of vibrations or oscillations made by a wave in 1 second is known as frequency. Or in another term, we can define a frequency in another way. The number of waves that are passing through a given point in unit time. So that is also known as frequency. If you are considering the unit of frequency, so frequency unit is either hertz or CPS, that is cycles per second. Cycles per second. So nu is frequency. So nu is equal to C by lambda, where nu is a frequency, C is the velocity of light, and lambda is wavelength. So that is about what you call frequency. Next, coming to the wave number. The number of waves present per unit length. The number of waves present per unit length is known as wave number. Or in other words, we can define wave number as reciprocal of wavelength. In simple words, we can represent a wave number as reciprocal of wavelength. So nu bar is equal to 1 by lambda. So this is a nu bar is nothing but wave number. Lambda is wavelength. So the unit of wave number is either centimeter inverse or meter inverse. So the wave number is the reciprocal of wavelength. Now coming to wavelength. So the distance between any two successive crusts or troughs. So this is one crust, this is another crust. The distance between these two successive crusts is known as wavelength. Or if you are considering this is one trough, this is another trough, the distance between such consecutive crusts or troughs is known as wavelength. So if you see the units of wavelength, the wavelength is measured in different units. One is angstrom unit. 1 angstrom unit is equal to 10 power minus 8 centimeters or 10 power minus 10 meters. And second unit is nanometer. 1 nanometer is equal to 10 power minus 9 meters or 10 power minus 7 centimeters. Picometers. 1 picometer is equal to 10 power minus 12 meters or 10 power minus 10 centimeters. So it is denoted by symbol lambda. It is nothing but lambda. It is denoted by lambda. So next one. So the particle nature of electromagnetic radiation. So the particle nature of the electromagnetic radiation is explained by Planck's quantum theory. So the practical experimental phenomena such as diffraction as well as interference can be explained by the wave nature of electromagnetic radiation. So the process or phenomena like diffraction or interference can be explained by the wave nature of the electromagnetic radiations. So coming to Planck's quantum theory. So this was proposed by Max Planck. It was proposed by Max Planck. So the nature of emission of radiations from hot bodies. So this can be explained by this, the nature of emission of radiation from hot bodies. So example, a black body radiation, the ejection of electrons from the metal surface when radiation strikes it. So suppose when we are considering a metal surface, when we are passing a particular radiation on it, then what happens? The ejection of electrons takes place from the metal surface. So the variation of heat capacity of solids as a function of temperature. So that means it is depending on the particular temperature. And the line spectra of atoms with the reference to the hydrogen atom. Now explanation of black body radiation by Max Planck. Max Planck. When solids are heated, they emit radiation over a wide range of wavelengths. So this is the radiation that is emitted by black body. So black body it is a perfect emitter as well as a perfect absorber of radiation. So when iron rod here is heated in a furnace, it first turns to dull red and the redness increases. That means the intensity of the red color increases with increase in temperature. Initially, since the temperature is less, it turns to dull red. But as the temperature increases, the intensity of the color increases and it turns to complete red. If it is further heated, the radiation becomes white and becomes blue at very high temperature So see here, the emitted black body radiation is having very high frequency at high temperature. So this is indicated by how we can determine that there is a difference in frequency. So that is indicated by color change from red to blue of the electromagnetic spectrum. So first we have seen that is changing from dull red to red, and again it is changing from red to blue. So that indicates that there is a change in frequency. So at higher temperature it is having higher frequency. So the body which can emit as well as absorb the radiations of all frequencies is known as black body, and the radiation emitted by a body is known as black body radiation. So that means it can emit as well as absorb the radiations of all frequencies. So it is considered as perfect emitter. It is considered as a perfect emitter or perfect absorber of radiation. So it is a perfect emitter as well as a perfect absorber of radiation. So see here, if you see the graph between the intensity of radiation and wavelength, see here, this is the temperature at T1, which is at lower temperature, and this is T2. So from left to right, the wavelength is increasing. As the wavelength is increasing, the intensity of radiation also increases at higher temperature. So that's why we are writing it as T2 is greater than T1. So as the temperature increases, the intensity of radiation also increases. So see here, when this the frequency distribution. So what we have seen the graph from a black body depends on its temperature. So definitely it is depending on the temperature. So at a given temperature, the intensity of emitted radiation increases and reaches a maximum value and thereafter decreases. So initially it will be less at a given time. At low temperature, the intensity of emitted radiation will be less. But as the temperature increases, the intensity of the particular radiation also increases and reaches to a maximum value, and thereafter it starts decreasing. So on increasing the temperature, so the intensity of emitted radiation also increases and shifted towards the shorter wavelength. Right? Shifted towards the shorter wavelength. So next, a quantum of light radiation is called as photon. So what is a photon? So light is consisting of photon. The quantum of light radiation is called photon. So if you see the characteristics of photon, the source of light emitted. So when we are passing a light, that source of light is emitting radiation in the form of photons, which is traveling with the velocity of light. With the velocity of light. So energy of photon is equal to h nu, where nu is equal to c by lambda. So that is equal to hc by lambda, or h lambda is nothing but c by nu. So this is the formula. E is equal to h nu. Nu is equal to c by lambda. So E is equal to h c by lambda. Hc by lambda. 1 by lambda is nothing but nu bar. So E is equal to hc into nu bar. So these are the formula. So in all these, h is known as a constant, that is considered as Planck's constant. So this is the value. This is the value. So 6.6 into 10 power minus 27 erg second. Erg second, or 6.6 into 10 power minus 34 joule second. So that is about the characteristics of photon. And next, another characteristics, if you see, all photons in vacuum, if you are considering where they are traveling, so all photons in vacuum travel with the same velocity of light. Their speed changes in different medium. So as the medium changes, their speed also changes, but frequency remains the same. Frequency remains the same. That means when we are changing the medium, the speed also, the speed of photon also changes, but frequency remains the same. And second characteristic, the photons are electrically neutral. Photons are electrically neutral. Since they are electrically neutral, so they are not affected by either electric field or magnetic field. Since they are electrically neutral, they are not affected by electric and magnetic fields. And photons always travel as a wave, but they will be absorbed as a particle. So that's a dual nature. So a photon is traveling as a wave, but they will be absorbed as particle. So this is E is directly proportional to nu. E is nu is inversely proportional to wavelength. So here he is discussing the relation between energy and frequency. So energy is directly proportional to nu. Energy is inversely proportional to wavelength, and energy is directly proportional to wave number. So with this, I will conclude this class. In the next class, so I will discuss about the various atomic models.